What?
Awesome job, you guys.
Great job, seriously. The Content Creators Bible, nailed it.
Yep.
So thank you again for reading it and processing all that. We hope you guys learned a lot and maybe had some epiphanies along the way.
Remember, applied knowledge is power, so go implement it into your lives.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're actually going to do now is dive even deeper into it and take you through our brains as we were creating it and really show you exactly what we're talking about with it. So we're going to go in and I'm going to guide you through the Content Creators Bible from my point of view.
Let's go.
The first page right here that I'll bring up is starts off with a quote. Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice, which is really cool because it goes really well with the first actual thing right here. So, number 1, thou shalt produce content on the daily. Now, of course, that's the most important thing. The internet is a very fast place where things are always happening. It's next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. Something's always got to get done. People have to have content. They want to see it. They want to digest the material. So this is all about just always being on top of the ball and always producing content. Always putting out new things will keep you on top of people's minds. It'll keep you on the tips of their tongue, and you will just grow your fan page or your presence online and your brand just exponentially by producing content daily that is really high quality. It just, people love it. They absolutely love it. So one of the things I want to propose to you guys is a challenge for each of these, and it's going to be a way for, if you take on all of the challenges, a way to really help shape and sharpen your skills as a content creator. So first one for the thou shalt produce content on the daily, the challenge is you must produce at least one piece of content every day for 10 days. One piece of content every day for 10 days. So I'll draw that on here. Challenge. One piece content 10 days. Boom. A habit takes about 21 days to develop, and so if you put out one piece every 10 days, you're going to build the momentum up, and then once you have 21 days, boom, good to go. You'll be ingrained with that habit, and you'll just be so far ahead of the pack. So the challenge, producing content on the daily, do it once a day for 10 days straight. I dare you. Now, number 2, let's get into it. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding, which is a really cool quote when it corresponds with knowing the audience like thyself. So what I mean by this is that you really want to understand your audience on a deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper level. The more you can possibly understand your audience, the better your content will impact and engage them, resulting in more likes, more shares, more fans, just a bigger audience in general, which is always a good thing. You want to have more eyeballs on your content, and the greater that you know what they want, the better it's going to be in the end. So let's talk about a challenge that we can do with this one. The best way to learn how to know your audience is to really see what they feed back on the most. So I'd like you to, the challenge this time is going to be to take a look at your the past month, the past 3 months. Take a look at a period of time in the past that you've been posting content regularly, and identify the top 5 most engaged piece of content. You'll get a real feel for what the audience is looking for from you when you look at the top 5 most engaged pieces of content. Now, if you're on Instagram, you can go to a website called Statagram, and it'll actually show you that. They'll aggregate that. Facebook will aggregate that as well in their analytics and things like that. So there's a lot of cool ways to actually get at that without having to scroll through each and every post. So take a look at the 5 most engaged posts that you've put out there and see where the connections. Why are things really engaging and compelling your audience to feedback? So take a look at that and complete that challenge with greatness. Number 3 here. You'll never know everything about anything, especially something you love, which is a really cool quote from an awesome chef. And it's all about entering into the place of knowledge. So what I mean by that is just being totally open to learning new things, moving past your comfort zone, and generating new experiences that you can use to grow your career as a content creator. So the challenge for this one is going to be this. So find figure out what your niche is, and if you don't already know that, definitely one of the main things you want to do is understand your niche and where you lie in what the value that you give to your audience, and find between 3 and 5 similar blogs or pages, and really see where these leaders in your industry see the future of your industry. Go out there and learn some new things and figure out. So I know for us, we right now are really transitioning in the video world from HD to 4K. That's just entering this way higher resolution. So that's one of the ways. And there's Chase Jarvis is a great place to learn. No Film School, and then I follow one called F-Stoppers as well. So those are 3 great blogs if you're in the video world, where you can learn lots of new things and stay on top of the ball and stay ahead of the curve as far as new techniques, new ideas, and new understandings of your niche. So take a look at very similar blogs. Go out there, like them, follow them, get an understanding of where your industry is headed, and it'll go a long ways in becoming a great content creator. Number 4 here, the quote is, "Finding your purpose is a lifelong adventure. Enjoy the journey," which is super cool. One of the things that I really want to pound is the why. Bam. Figure out your why. This is really going to be the engine, the gas in the engine behind everything you do. Because if you don't understand your purpose, it's going to be very difficult for you to keep going when things aren't going perfectly or you're not getting the exact results that you want. So definitely dive deeply and understand your why. So the challenge in this one is not a direct hard challenge, but it's more of it's an inner challenge. This is some inner work that you need to do. So go out there and discover your why. So this can be done with a pen and paper, just going and understanding. You can go on a long walk and figure it out. You can go exercise. You can meditate. You can take a look at some cool videos online or do something like that. And then post one piece of content that is in line with your why, with your purpose behind. So for us at Just Two Guys, we are really dedicated to creating fun, fresh digital media. And so we post a lot of different things that really encapsulate that. It's not just the media; it's our lifestyle behind it. It's things like this that help other people grow. So it's like the whole purpose behind it is to really elevate the digital media community. So every post has that intention and that push behind it, so that it follows through without. So pretty cool. So go through and discover your why, and then create one piece of content that is really, really intended to be in line with that, and post it out there and see how it does with your audience. Number 5 coming up here. The quote being, "To hell with circumstances, I create opportunities." A badass quote by Bruce Lee. Watcha. Honor thy practice. So Bruce Lee and practice go together like peanut butter and jelly, because the guy was all about always being on top of your game. So this one is really cool because I think it aligns really well with the first one, which was being diligent and posting daily. So I'm actually going to give you guys a freebie here as far as challenges go, and just stick with the same challenge from number 1. You want to post daily and just really be on top of it. And now the more you can post in a row, not bam, 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 don't spam the wall, of course, but posting daily is so critical, and it's a practice to post daily. You have to find a time and you have to really dedicate it. And at times, if there's a lot going on, it's easy to let it slip. But how dedicated are you to that practice of posting daily? Really focus on that and draw it out, and you'll see some really amazing results. So number 6 here, the quote being, "Use every customer point of contact to weave stories about who you are and what your brand stands for," by Gary Vaynerchuk, who is a straight G when it comes to social media and telling stories. One of the most important parts of telling stories is telling it in a way that your audience engages with it and sees it evolve. And each day they check in and they check your Instagram or your Facebook or your Twitter, and they see how you have moved forward with your story and how your journey is growing and all these amazing things. And they really grow to understand you and know you as a person, as this brand or this icon in their mind, which is really cool. So the more you can really hammer in the idea of a story as you post and you do your things on social media, the better it's going to be. So story, story, story. The challenge for this one is going to be take a look at your past posts and figure out what your story has really been thus far, and figure out if you want to move forward with that same story, or maybe, you know, it's been pretty weak so far and you want to direct it a whole new way. A really good way to kind of create a marker or a chapter in your world, in your story, your online brand, is to go through and you want to go through and put a single post that will really generate some interest in your story, like really recount and recap what's been going on and how you've been so grateful for all these things that have been happening. It's a really great way for the audience to kind of catch up if they've been missing, and always generates a lot of any post that's really appreciative and grateful for what you've been through is always going to generate a lot of results, and it's going to be really engaging and compelling for people because it kind of brings them up to speed. So the challenge for this one is to create one story oriented post that will impact and engage people and help bring them back onto the track of your storyline. So create one story oriented post. Boom, like that. All right, number 7 is going to be the quote is, we have a saying, move fast and break things. The idea is that if you never break anything, you're probably not moving fast enough. By the man himself, Mark Zuckerberg. Cool guy. So number 7 is all about being fun and kind of weird and experimental, and just being able to throw your ideas of what works and what doesn't completely out the window every once in a while, so that you have a way to try new things. You have to let go of these ideas that I have to be creating this specific content, this specific time, because after you gather a certain amount of data points, it can seem very easy to kind of get stuck in a rut, which is really, really, really boring for your audience. Your audience will not enjoy seeing the exact same shots and style of shots and things over and over again. So get crazy and post something unique and new from a different perspective, or try, if you normally post photos a lot, try posting video or vice versa. Just do something different that will enhance your newsfeed in a way. Humans just like things that are different. It's simple. If you have 100 people with black hair in a room and one person with white hair, everyone's going to look at the person with white hair. Not because it's white, but, you know, because it's interesting. So my challenge for you for this one is take a hard look at your page and say, is my page boring? Does it excite? Does it add something new every day? Is it really pushing the boundaries and the limits of what, you know, my brand is? Is it evolving? Is it growing? Is it experimenting? You have to understand, is it doing this? And if it's not, I think it's important that you go out there and you post some content that's experimental. So with that being said, you know, guys, a lot of this is pretty straightforward, and it's just about having an engaging, unique, fun page online that pushes the boundary and helps your market and grows your audience and provides value and does all these things that, you know, it's just like you have to nurture it and grow it, and it'll become so much better. So talk to you guys soon.
Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, seriously. Hope you guys got even more value than you thought you had before. So we're just trying to make you awesome content creators, because frankly, my newsfeed on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is just filled with absolute BS. I don't like it, and I want it better.
So let's change that. You guys remember, applied knowledge is power. Implement it in other ways than just in content, in your lives too.
Yep, exactly. Make these life skills. There's a lot that can come out of it. So again, check us out on Instagram, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, and you can email us if you have any questions at just2guyscreative@gmail.com. Will and Gabe signing out.
Peace.